Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I spoke in 2007 on the TED in California, and I couldn't dare to think that it ever would come to my hometown, Delft. And I'm very grateful for the organizers, for the Delftenaren who achieved this. Now, more than 40 years ago, I was studying physics on the other side of the street here, just like Leo Kouwenhoven, but I was not such a good student. So after 7 years, I ended up being an artist, a painter. And that's what I did for many years. And since about 21 years, I tried to make new forms of life. And these forms of life are not based on protein. They're like our bodies are all made of protein. So you could say that the creator, he limited himself, he restricted himself very much in the choice of his materials. And he just used protein to make us. And you wouldn't say that if you want to fry an egg and you smash it in the pan and you see that muddy substance over there, that it is the ultimate construction material for life, would you? But obviously, when you have millions of years and you try again and again, then the result is not bad, is it? And you couldn't blame protein, eiwit, not to try again and again, because it renews itself all the time. Now, I tried to take that same strategy to try again and again, but obviously I don't have millions of years, so I have just a very short time to achieve what I do, and I would like to show a video of what I've done the last 21 years, and after that I will explain a bit more. Can you start the video, please?
Life arises from bees which bring pollen from one flower to the other.
Theo Jansen wants to make life, not by the use of pollen or seeds, but by making new creatures. In the computer, it's the numbers which reproduce themselves. In real life, it's biological cells which do the same. So in fact, the numbers are equivalent to the cells. Apart from the numbers in the computer, Theo Jansen recently found another alternative for the biological cell, the electricity tube. With this, you can build structures very quickly. You can build arms and legs, and subject to selection, reproduction, selection,
Sometimes the selection and reproduction takes a side road via numbers in the computer. Evolution goes faster in the computer. The result is that the artificial beast finds its most efficient way to move its feet. Eventually, these beasts are going to live in herds on the beaches. Theo Jansen is working hard on this evolution. The mechanical beasts will not get their energy from food, but from the wind. The wind will move feathers on their back, which will drive their feet.
The beast walks sideways on the wet sand of the beach with its nose pointed into the wind. As soon as it walks into either the rolling surf or the dry sand, it stops and walks in the opposite direction. There have been many experiments. Evolution has generated many species. Another problem was the wind. When storms came up the beach, the animals used special tools to prevent them blowing away. The Animaris arena rolled out a trunk. At its end, a hammer tried to drive a pin into the ground, so that the beach animal was fixed. This is the Animaris currens ventosa.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I would like to explain the leg system of the animals, which was designed about 20 years ago. So in the middle of each beach animal is a sort of spine, a backbone, which makes a circular movement like this, and you see a complex curve drawn by the pencil. Now, when the animal has put his foot on the ground, his leg on the ground, then you see that the pencil draws a straight line. And that means that the animal stays on the same level. Normally, when you walk, you toss up and down, and this leg stays on the same level, just like the axis of a wheel. Now, this curve is very much depending on the length of the tubes between the spine and the pencil. If you have another proportion of length, the pencil will draw another curve, and there are many possibilities. That's why I wrote a genetic algorithm to find out which length of tubes I needed to get the right movement. And after a month of working on this Atari computer, there came 13 numbers out of the computer. And since the animals walk on it, I call this the 13 holy numbers. And I published them on my website. You could also see it as a sort of genetic code. And I brought a small animal here. We can see. So you watch the body, and it should stay on the same level. So the feet just rock under it. Thank you very much. So that there have been many epochs in the beach animal history, and you can hold the camera. Can you hold this for a minute? And you can show it to everybody in the audience. See what's happening? Thank you very much. You did a great job. Can I have it back? Okay. What you see here is that there's an O-ring here and a piston. Come on. And this is attached to a wing. So the wing moves and it pumps up air. And it can pump air in soda bottles like this. So they could store the energy in just a PET bottle. Ooh, okay. So when you open the bottle, the wind comes out again. And you can use this energy in case that the wind falls away on the beach and the tide would come up. They still have a little bit of energy in their wind stomach to reach the dunes and save their lives. So you have a sort of, the pumps you can also see as a sort of muscles. And muscles need to be triggered by nerve cells. These are 3 nerve cells. So you have a sort of switches which can switch zeros and ones. So what you see here is in fact the future of the beach animals. It's the beginning of the brain. So they can count their steps away from the sea so they know where they are on the beach, and also time mechanisms which run parallel to the tides, so they know in advance when the sea will come up and adjust their behavior to that situation. Now, of course, if you are making life, you're thinking about multiplying. And I've been thinking about that, and maybe I've still 20 years in front of me to work on that. And of course I had ideas how you could feed tubes to the beast and they would work and make another beast of it, who would make beasts. But that would take another 1 million years, maybe. And so it happens, I found out that the strand beasts were multiplying behind my back. We have heard just Eric Meyer talking this morning about Kevin Kelly, that he said, well, we need the gadgets, but the gadgets need us to multiply. Well, the same thing is happening with the strand beasts. If you look on YouTube and you type in Theo Jansen mechanism, then you'll see lots of students in the whole world making strand beasts. Now, of course, you think that these strand beasts are made by people. But it's just like Kevin Kelly said. This virus of strand beasts came in my mind 21 years ago, and it made me a bit crazy, or I have this disease of not thinking of anything else anymore than strand beasts. And this disease is epidemic. Lots of people are infected by it. So in Japan, they're ordering now this typical Dutch tube in Enkhuizen to make strand beasts. So the strand beasts are in fact body snatchers. And we think we make them, but they make us to make them. Here's a small strand beast, a Japanese one. They're made 20,000 of these. And you could say that it's multiplying, isn't it? Well, if you put it in the wind, it works quite well. Now I'm going to show you the miracle which was showed to me about a year ago. There came two guys into my studio and they put this on the table. And this animal is not assembled, it's not made, it's born. It's born in a 3D printer. So that works in a way that you have a layer of nylon powder, and then a laser melts some parts together, and next layer comes up, and then you end up with a box full of nylon powder, and the thing is in there. And you blow away the nylon powder, and it puts its first steps on Earth. So this is really the first. This is the Adam in the paradise. So this is the really first one. There are now, these guys started a business making 3D printed beasts, and you can buy them. And I would like to show a short video again. Can you start a video? This was in May, this spring. It was the first tryout of the Animaris Gubernare. And obviously it had overweight. So I had to work on it this summer. And we ended up in September. Can you show the next video, please? So I took the wind stomach out, and those are those two rolling external wind stomachs in front of it, and the driving system was also simplified, so it was a lot lighter. Still, of course, I have to nurse them all the time. They don't survive yet on the beaches. Don't worry about it, but I'm working quite hard on it. And hopefully at the end of my life, they can do it on their own. I can kick them out of the beach and quietly die, knowing that they will live on the beaches forever. Thank you. Thank you. I was not finished yet. So I took one part of the Animaris Gubernare with me. Here it is. So this is one of the 4. And here's a special thing. This is a sense. Thank you very much. Well, this is the sensor of water. If I put the tube into the sea, the animals should run to the other side of the stage. I have to help it a little bit. Okay, let me check. So it sucks in air all the time, and as soon as it rises into the sea, it swallows the water, and it feels the resistance of the water, and then it runs. Let's see if it's really gonna work. So there's no wind on the beach. The tide is coming up. Come on. Why? Yeah. So you see, you have to save them all the time. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Have a nice lunch. Bye-bye.